Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing, bringing you a general reading for the week of Monday, December 12th through Sunday, December 18th. I cannot believe, for those of you that celebrate Christmas, that we are just 2 weeks away from that and just a few short weeks from the end of the year. This is actually going to be energetically a pretty intense week for many. We actually are going to be embarking on the 12-12 gateway on Monday, and many of you have actually been feeling that energetically since Saturday. It is the 12-12 gateway. It's a time for completions, ending of cycles, ending of phases. It's energetically, it's shaking things loose in order to help us let go of everything that is not meant to move into 2017 with us. So although it can be a challenging time for many, I know energetically it's just really worn some people out since Saturday. A lot of people have been tired. That's okay. That's expected. That's a good thing. Because not only is it letting go of physical people, places, situations, circumstances, but it's also energetically letting go of those things. Like maybe you had to end a relationship with someone. Finally letting go of those feelings, those things that have kept you stuck and connected to that person. So that's good. Hopefully that transition is going smooth for everyone. If you are having a lot of emotions with that, one thing that you can do is soak in some Epsom salt. That will help you release those things. Because right around the corner, we actually have a full moon this week that's going to be on Tuesday, the 13th of December. It's going to be at around 7 p.m., just after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that full moon is going to be in Gemini. It is the third supermoon in a row. So, we had those supermoons, which supermoon just means it's a moon. It's when the moon is closest to the earth. So it'll be like about 14%. It'll appear 14% bigger than it typically does. And it'll be about 30% brighter than normal. But this is the last one. And it's a very powerful full moon as far as it's forcing us to expand. We've gone through this time this year of, smoke and mirrors and really having illumination and truth brought to the surface. We've really gotten to see what's true and what's not true. We've been able to see through things. We've been able to have the clarity. That is intended in order to shift us to a higher perspective. That's been intended for us to learn our lessons, to grow, to develop, to now devise plans for the things that we desire and bring those plans to fruition. Something that's going to help with that is at the same time of this full moon, we're going to have a grand trine. And that is really going to help us get beyond the situations, the circumstances, these things that have held us back from everything that we desire, so that we can move toward bigger and better horizons, bigger, better things. Those things that we desire, we can actually finally bring them to fruition. Now, the thing that is going to be the challenge for many is actually bringing those things to fruition, because we must make it real. And that's really going to be a big push at this full moon, because we have all these ideas, and you're going to notice that you've had a number of ideas the past month or so, but it's really going to culminate now with this full moon, because it's a time of taking those ideas that we have that have been just floating around in our head, but to actually do something about them, to actually make those things real, in order to make our dreams real, make those things come true. So, if you've been thinking about going to school or take some classes or get a certification in order to be able to, I don't know, maybe some of you want to become card readers. Maybe you want to become a psychologist. Maybe you want to become an engineer. But you've had these dreams, these hopes. They're not going to progress forward unless you do the work. We can pray and God and the angels will create and clear a path for us. But at some point, we have to physically take that step that they're guiding us to take. They can give us signs and synchronicities. They can give us the money. They can give us the means. They can clear away the things that aren't good for us. Like for some, maybe you've been wanting to get married and start a family, and you've met this divine partner, this soulmate or this twin flame. God and the angels could clear away that person that wasn't good for you, can end all those contracts between that person, could make that blatantly obvious, could clear the path and bring this dreamboat to you. But until you take the steps, it won't ever become real. So this full moon is a time for making those things real. So if you've had signs you're wanting to start a new career path, you're wanting to start your own business, you're wanting to start this love of a lifetime, you're wanting to start a family, use the power, the energies in this full moon to start creating that which you desire. Take those steps, make it real, get those ideas out of your head, get them on paper, get them moving forward. And you have so much help to help you with that. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I don't even know what cards I'm using this week. Let's see here. We are using John Holland's Psychic Tarot of the Heart deck. We're going to be using Kyle Gray's Angel Answers, and then also Tony Carmine Salerno's Ask an Angel deck. We do have some beautiful flowers for those of you that are celebrating Christmas. We've got a little poinsettia here. Also, I have someone that's very near and dear to me. He is celebrating his birthday on the 16th. So we're going to have birthday flowers in honor of his birthday. And we're going to hopefully have a short reading this week with just 3 cards. Let's see if I have this lined up. I should have them zoomed in enough that you guys can see them. Perfect. And I don't have to lift them all up. You've got to be kidding. That card's back up again. Okay. This card, and it's funny how it's aligned with, energetically what's going on, because we have starting off with movement, choices, and decisions. This card, I think, has shown up 2 times in the past month and a half. So let's do something this week. Let's make those decisions. Let's take those actions so we don't have to look at this again next week. Because this is a card that talks about making choices, making decisions in order to progress forward. That is what this week is all about. And if you look in this card, you have money, rings, you've got like this, this branch, and you've got clouds. And it really is. So there's a broad range of decisions that a number of you are trying to make. Some of you are trying to make decisions about love. Some of you are trying to make financial decisions, partnership, union, commitments, contracts, legal contracts, business decisions, business ventures, career changes. There's a lot of things at stake, a lot of things that are being considered at this time. But they're saying those of you in this situation, you already know what the right decision is. You have been contemplating and overthinking it. They're saying most of you have just constantly, you've overthought it so much that it's actually causing additional complications, additional lack of clarity. Because when you're trying to make a decision, you'll pray, you'll meditate, you'll try to get the answers, and then when you get to the point that you have the answers, maybe you don't agree with those, or maybe you don't like them because they're too much work, or maybe we just don't, we're fearful, maybe we've got we're planning to start our own business, and we're fearful that it's going to be a complete flop, and we're going to be left dirt poor and unable to provide for ourselves and our family, or maybe we have this love of a lifetime. You've got 2 rings here, and that's talking about commitment, marriage, relationship. And it's actually, you've got that's the first time I've ever noticed that. There's actually a heart right in there as well. Maybe you're contemplating marriage, but you're thinking back, ooh, I remember last time I got married, and that really burnt, that really left a mark. I don't want that to happen again. But because of fear, worries, doubt, but it's all stemming in a place of fear, regardless of what the situation is, you're overthinking, overanalyzing, overcomplicating the situation, is what they're saying. When they're saying it's just time to make a decision. And the good thing is, for most of you in this situation, you already know what the decision is. You just need to act on it. You just need to act on it. The path has been cleared. The foundation has been laid. It's just overcoming your fear. and making a decision, making that choice, making that decision, and stepping forward. Why are they saying uncloak yourself? Okay. So if you look in this card, we can get it so it doesn't have a glare. You see how this figure, he's cloaked. Oh, it's really close. Anyhow, he's totally cloaked. He has a scarf. He has a scarf wrapped around his face, a hat. He's fully clothed in a robe and shoes. He's hiding from himself. It's interesting. They're saying some of you are hiding from yourself. Okay. So there's the Casanova traditional tarot deck. It's interesting that when you look at the Casanova deck, you'll have some people that are clothed and masked and some people that are not masked. It's a sign, it's an indication of being transparent, being honest with yourself as well as others, communication. So some of you, they're saying some of you that are in this situation, let's say it's with love. You have potential love interest or someone that you're letting go, you're releasing. Because this has been a time of letting things go. And we're going to continue to be letting go this week. You're masked, you're hiding. So they're saying some of you are not wanting to see the truth that is before your face. It is so blaringly obvious. You refuse to see the truth and accept it for what it is. And some of you, in an effort to avoid that, have turned to alcohol. You're drinking alone late at night. Some of you have turned to drugs. Some of you have turned to pornography, gambling. You've turned elsewhere because fear is what's keeping you from seeing the truth. Fear is what's keeping you from taking those steps forward, from making the decision, making that choice, moving forward. But you can no longer run and hide. They're saying you've come up against a wall now. They're saying to run and hide in fear is doing nothing. It's jeopardizing health for some of you. Because they're bringing up the green. Green is an indicator of, it's Archangel Raphael's color. It's a color of health, well-being. Some of you with the decisions and things that you're doing and choosing to do in effort to run from those choices, for some it's running from accepting the truth, running from having to make a choice and move forward. For some, they're saying owning up to choices and things that you have done in the past. And so you've made a choice or a decision in the past, and you're fearful that that decision is what's going to block you from the happiness, from the things that you desire. It's not going to, but that fear is what's sending you off track. So for those of you that are looking at other means or other things to focus on, drinking, drugs, extracurricular activities, that aren't supporting your well-being, they're really encouraging you to overcome your fears and move forward. Because for some, for everyone that's in that situation, it's going to continue. They're pointing up this knife that angel's holding. It's going to continue to keep you in this place of pain, sorrow, isolation. For some of you, you feel very desolate, very alone, very wounded. So for some of you, you've been hurt by someone else. You're not you're not accepting the truth that that person does not have your intentions at heart. You're refusing to accept that and see that move forward. For some, it's, you know, overcoming things of a past that you think you did or you didn't do, overcoming fears, worries, doubts. But it's got you in a place of isolation, sadness, sorrow. They're trying to help you break free of that. Allow them to help you break free of that. It's time. It's time. It's time for you to break free. Now the next card we have here is it says, don't hate, meditate. And at the bottom it says, thank you, angels, for guiding me to love through meditation. And okay, so for those of you this week that are, you know, you're trying to make a decision, trying to finally make this choice so you can finally move forward, you can take off some of these layers in clothing, although if you're in Ohio, you might want to keep them on for a couple more weeks or vacation in Florida. But you're wanting to break free. You're wanting to break free into these blue clouds, into the things that you desire. But you're overwhelmed by anger, frustration, sadness, sorrow, depression. Some of you deceit, you know, they've got the knife. You know, you've had someone that you love dearly that deceived you, that hurt you, that wounded you. And you're kind of stuck and wondering, okay, where do I go from here? But this is kind of a message twofold. So you're getting a lot of signs and a lot of messages and a lot of guidance from, you know, God and angels. They're really, really trying to help you and assist you with this decision. You've had so many signs and synchronistic events, activities, you just can't even, I mean, you would have to bury your head in the ground to not notice them. They're so blatantly obvious and in your face. Love yourself enough to trust them. You see this angel, she's completely cloaked in pink. Pink is the color that speaks of love. Pure, true love from God, from heaven. And it's all areas of love. Love of family. Love with, you know, a lover, a spouse, a partner. Love for yourself. They're saying love yourself enough to trust that guidance. Trust the information you're getting. They're not going to lead you astray. They're not leading you to another path where you're going to get hurt or you can get... and the Lenormands, and we may pull some Lenormands before we're all said and done. There's this card, the birch, the scythe. It talks of, you know, essentially being whipped. Very painful. By a branch. You are not going to go through anything painful again. You've completed that phase. They're trying to get you to move forward to things that are not painful, to things that are joyful. For some of you, they're trying to get you to stop looking at the past. If you look, so traditionally, if we did a 9-card spread, or even if we did a traditional 3-card spread, typically what you have is the first card is the past, middle card would be the present, next card would be the future. So you go from past to future as you move from the left to the right. Depending upon which direction the figure is facing, gives an indication whether they're looking to the present, future, or past. You notice this angel, she's looking toward the past. Many of you are fearful of making this decision and moving forward because you're stuck in the past where you have been hurt, you have been wounded by someone. And they're saying it's someone, it wasn't a situation, it was someone. Or for some, it was a group of people with one person in the lead. One key person has wounded you, has hurt you. They're saying for many, wounded your heart, hurt your heart. You felt deceived. This was someone that you loved, that you had a connection with, that hurt you. They're saying communication, blue is the color of communication. Many of you, that person deceived you, lied to you, stole from you, purposefully was miscommunicating with you. For some, they were leading you to believe that they loved you simply because they were using you for their own gain, their own financial gain for most. Okay, financial gain for... So for those of you in this situation, being used for financial gain. And they were saying for some, for help, some things that they needed help with, assistance with. But when they would get what they want, then they would, you know, set you free. But it was cloaked in miscommunication, deception, deceit, trickery. But it's left you stuck, lonely, sad, fearful of moving forward at this point. And the time has come for you to move forward. But you have to shift your perspective from the past and move it toward the future. And the angels are trying to help you with that. So take the time this week to go inward and think about what is it that you desire? What is it that you really want? If you want to start your own business, if you want to start the love of a lifetime, if you want to start a family, or if you just want to do something small, though they're saying, for those of you in this, it's a big decision. This isn't a, where do I want to go for my next vacation? But hey, trying to make this applicable to as many people as possible. Maybe you're trying to decide where to go for vacation. But it's a big decision, which is why you've been stuck on it for so long. But they're encouraging you this week to go inward. Love yourself enough to face the truth, to face the facts, and most importantly, face your fears. Love yourself enough to visualize and imagine and think of the things that you desire, and then take the action and the steps necessary to move toward that. And if there are any areas that you're still uncertain, they are going to provide you illumination this week. That last card that we have, this is Illumination. And because for some of you, you're okay. You've had to let things go. It was a quick, swift decision for some. For some, you've been thinking about it and sitting on it for a very long time. But you're fearful of moving forward because of things that have happened in the past. You're fearful you're going to have to relive that. It's just a lot of fear. Because they're saying that there's uncertainty. So you're getting ready to make this decision. You're like, oh, okay, I'm still not sure. I don't have the clarity. I'm fearful. Okay, what if I take that leap of faith and I get stabbed again in the back? Or what if I take that leap of faith and I have someone lie to me, deceive me again? Or what if I take that leap of faith and I end up losing a lot of money? But they've tried to give you so many signs and clarity. So this week, take the time to go inward, to pray, to ask for signs, ask for guidance. They are going to give you the illumination. They are going to give you so much clarity. Again, you would have to bury your head to ignore it, to not see that those are the signs and messages that they're giving you. Now, I am going to read the book because there may be something in here that'll help some of you. Let's see here. Illumination, Archangel Jophiel. Illumination occurs when light fills a space where there was once darkness. The light of consciousness spreads, allowing us to see into a space that was once darkness and mystery of the unknown. After the winter, the sun comes, bringing life, light, and vigor to the silent, sleeping flowers of spring. Illumination often occurs when we least expect it, when we are lost in the dark and have forgotten what the light of day looks like. Up comes the sun in all its glory, lighting our way and filling us with new insight and new inspiration. When we are in darkness, we often lose sight of the bigger picture. We can easily forget that everything comes in phases. Without the darkness of introspection and the unknown, change cannot occur. The phases we experience are extremely important to growth and success in our lives. We must always remember during winter that spring is coming. The sun will rise. No matter how long and dark the night, the sun is rising for you now, illuminating all dark corners of your life and of your consciousness. This is a time of rebirth, renewed life, and renewed clarity and inspiration. This is a time of rebirth, renewed life, renewed clarity, and inspiration. Outstanding. Guess they wanted that read twice. Within the light of the sun, every color exists, ready to bring that color into our world. There is unlimited potential all around you right now. You have the power to create anything you want for yourself and your life. All color is available to you. Pay attention to awakenings, realizations, ideas, answers, and inspiration. All the answers you've been looking for are revealing themselves to you now. It is a broad range of decisions. Those of you in the situation, this is the anchor. You had someone who you were anchored with, something that you were anchored with. This was your finances, your stability, your home, your life. You had to very swiftly pull that anchor up. For some of you, you haven't yet realized that that's actually a good thing. This is the clover. This is good luck. So maybe you had a lover deceive you, lie to you. Maybe you found that someone was trying to get you to make a business decision, invest financially in a business decision that would have put you in a, they're saying for many, a worse situation. It already wasn't a good situation. It would have a deeper debt. It was a blessing. It was a blessing. You're just having a hard time seeing that it was a blessing. If you see her in the clouds, you've got storms, lightning bolt tree, but you've got the sun. You are coming into the sun. The things that were taken from you, again, how I was mentioning earlier about this full moon and about how we have gone through this time with smoke and mirrors. The truth has been brought to us. We have now been able to see through lies, deceit, deception, all these things. We have the clarity. And for many, you had this thing, this person, this situation that you just thought, oh man, this is my foundation, this is my future, this is my rock. I am going to anchor my ship to this. And you found out it wasn't the right ship to hitch yours to. Wasn't the right situation. Very quickly, that had to be pulled out of the water so you can move forward and be set free. That's a blessing from God. That's been a blessing. That's going to bring you tremendous luck. Allow yourself to see that, because you are coming out of the stormy times. This person, this situation, this business, for some of you, potential business partner, you've been going through storms and turbulence and heartache with that person. For some of you, that group of people, for months and years. The time has come for you to break free. They're helping you do just that. So between God and the angels helping you and all this energy that we have this week that's going to help you be set free, I hope it does just that for you. I do wish you all an amazing week filled with a lot of love, joy, blessings, and miraculous changes that are going to bring you to your hopes, desires, and dreams and bring everything to fruition for you. Have an amazing week.